I'd like to call the meeting to order. Sorry, Mr. Libby.
It's okay.
Ready? Excellent. Oh, I'm sorry. A moment of silence. Flag salute.
The United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
In accordance with the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, a public notice of this meeting has been sent to board members, all district schools, the Herald News, Suburban Trends, the Record, the Messenger, West Milford Town Hall, the County Superintendent's Office, the Board Attorney, Cablevision of Warwick and West Milford TV 77, and posted in the Administration Building. Copies of the board meeting calendar resolution were provided to all local media, Town Hall, Township, Library, and all district schools. Roll call, please, Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Sadovich, Mrs. Dwyer,
Here.
Mrs. Jurgensen,
Here.
Mr. Lippy,
Here.
Mrs. Marquardt,
Here.
Mrs. Romeo,
Here.
Mrs. Van Dyke,
Here.
Mrs. O'Connor,
Here.
Mrs. Locke.
Here. Superintendent's report, Dr. Kitchen.
Yes, so we're going to start my report by turning things over to Karen Johnson and Matt Giants. They are going to come up and help recognize some of our students for the College Board National Recognition Award Program.
Good evening. We're happy to report to you that a number of West Milford High School students earned academic demographic honors from the College Board National Recognition Program. These programs celebrate students' hard work in high school and showcase their strong academic performance. For the first time, the academic honors recognize a first-generation student in addition to rural and small-town Black, Indigenous, and Hispanic Latino students. These recognitions provide an opportunity for our students to share their strong academic achievements with colleges and scholarship programs that are seeking to recruit diverse talent. We are proud to recognize the following students. Joel Campos earned the recognition for National Hispanic Holder. William Diaz earned the National Hispanic Recognition Award. Willie Gutierrez earned the National Hispanic Recognition Award as well as the National First Generation Recognition Award. Hernandez earned the National Hispanic Recognition Award as well as the National First Generation Recognition Award. Claire Johnson earned the National Rural and Small Town Recognition Award. Nicholas Patino earned the National Hispanic Recognition Award.
We got some.
Not all of our students are here. Allow me to come up to receive your award, and then we'll do a picture with the board at the end.
Thank you. Megan Sider earned the National Rural and Small Town Recognition Award. Ryan Castro earned the National Rural and Small Town Recognition Award as well as the National First Generation Recognition Award. Christopher Catra earned the National Rural and Small Town Recognition Award as well as the National First Generation Recognition Award. Brenda Traverso earned the National Rural and Small Town Recognition Award. Adelina Chusio earned the National First Generation Recognition Award. Samantha Whitcock earned the National Rural and Small Town Recognition Award. Anna Youngren earned the National Rural and Small Town Recognition Award. And Jennifer Zhang earned the National First Generation Recognition Award. I'll share that this was our largest number of students and awards that we've received thus far, so it's really kudos to those of you who earned this.
Jose Hernandez. Yep.
Thank you. It's always really important when we have opportunities to recognize our students that we do in a forum like this. I think it's really important for us to be reminded of what we're doing this for. With that being said, I know not all of our students are here, but those of you who are, if you wouldn't mind coming back up with your awards, just sort of lining up in front, we can kind of take a picture with the board. And Karen, come join the picture as well if you'd like. Dr. Swartz, would you mind taking a picture for us? Just line right in front of that. Can I ask our students to just squat down a little bit? Okay, up next, I just want to give an update on the Highlander Education Foundation. So, for those of you who are not aware, we did have a meeting with the leadership of the Ed Foundation and board leadership as well. So our president and vice president, myself, Mr. Novak, and leadership from the Ed Foundation sat down just to kind of go over a few different things, including some dialogue over the grant awards that they are looking to give out. So if you're not aware, the Highlander Ed Foundation aims to raise funds to give out grants to our teachers for different programs, things that are sort of beyond what the budget is able to support, and they wanted to reestablish a process for doing that. So their grant application was something that they created. It's pretty rigorous, I would say, to make sure that we're really getting the money put into the right places. We sat down and kind of looked through it with them. Mr. Novak and I kind of got eyes on it to make sure it was what we would like it to be. That the process obviously then involves the two of us giving the green light for whatever it is they're looking to support. Mostly is to make sure that any program or anything that we're bringing in also aligns with our curriculum and the things that we're teaching. So excited to announce that is something that is coming back, and that the Ed Foundation, their grant applications were just rolled out this week. So hopefully there'll be some future opportunities here to get some more money into our classrooms for various things. We also discussed with them just the desire on both sides to make sure that we can operate in a way that is mutually supportive, the Ed Foundation and the Board of Education. What exactly that's going to look like going forward is kind of to be determined, but you know, we wish them success, and I know they wish us success as well, and we're trying to figure out what that relationship should look like exactly. More conversations to be had, but at this time we are excited to, again, about the prospect of some more grant awards for our teachers. So just wanted to give the update on that. And up next, I'm going to turn it over to our student representative, Megan Seidner, who can share her report.
Good evening. Thank you. Here is the November Highlander debrief. Firstly, the annual Spooktacular was held on Saturday, October 26th. It was a chilly night, but that did not deter the ghosts and ghouls from coming out to trick-or-treat and having a good time. Over 45 trunks participated, including many of our own clubs and athletic teams, along with the police, the ambulance corps, the Lions Club, the West Milford Messenger, the rec department, a school bus from the transportation department, and a fire truck from the Macbin Fire Company. The Macbin Haunted Hallway tickets were just about sold out by the end of the night. Event organizers estimated about 2,500 people attended, all in wicked good costumes. Both Macbin and the high school helped raise about $5,000 for local food pantries. Thank you to all the clubs, community organizations, teachers, students, and staff who made this night memorable. And a big congratulations to the 3 winning trunks, which were first place, Aptua School, second place, the Ambulance Corps, and third place, the Lions Club. We have had many musical accomplishments in the past few weeks. The marching band took first place in the NJ State Championships, winning Group 4. They also placed 4th in nationals held at MetLife Stadium on Saturday, November 2nd. Congratulations to the band on another state championship. On Saturday, November 9th, the band hosted their 24th annual military tattoo in honor of Veterans Day. The night featured performances by the West Milford Pipes and Drums, the marching band, as well as the marching bands from Bergenfield and Clifton High Schools, to name a few. All of the groups joined together for a final performance to close the tattoo. Bravo to the West Milford Theater Arts Department, as their performances of Clue on Friday, November 15th and Saturday, November 16th were nothing short of exceptional. With sets imbued with the charm of the board game and the sophistication of hours of hard work, the careful lighting and sound effects raising suspense and emotion, and the amazing acting of the cast, it is no mystery or surprise that the West Milford High School Theater Department has done it yet again with another smash hit. Now for an update on our sports teams. Football. The Highlander football's team's season has concluded. The team finished with a record of 5-5 as their season ended after a first-round playoff loss to Pascack Valley. Soccer. Boys soccer finished their regular season with a record of 15-3 and defeated rival Lakeland 2-1 in the first round of the state tournament on Tuesday, November 5th. The boys defeated Pascack Valley on Friday, November 8th, 3-2 in the quarterfinals of the state tournament. Though they fought valiantly against top-seeded Ramsey in the semifinals on Friday, November 15th, they did lose. Cross country. Both girls and boys ran in the sectional meet on Saturday, November 2nd. For the girls, Amanda Harvey placed 5th, Sierra Clinton placed 7th, and Brenna Traverso placed 10th, which allowed the team to place 5th and advance to groups on Saturday, November 9th. Field hockey. The field hockey team advanced to the second round of the state tournament with a first-round win over rival Lakeland by a score of 2-1. They then moved on to the quarterfinals, where they fell to Warren Hills, ending their season with a record of 18-3-1. Now for a brief look into the future. The high school gymnasium will host the Journey for Julian volleyball tournament tomorrow, November 20th, starting at 6 p.m. to raise money for actual first grader Julian Brinks, who is fighting cancer again. The event is sponsored by the Varsity Club and Interact Club, and all proceeds will go to Julian. Please consider stopping by and supporting us so we can spike out cancer. Are you ready to rumble? The West Milford High School PTSO is partnered with the Maple Road PTO for a big Thanksgiving Thunder Pro Wrestling fundraiser on Saturday, November 23rd. Tickets are available at ispwwrestling.com. $20 for bleacher seats or $35 for ringside seats to be right next to the action. There will be special guest appearances by Mr. Antoncini as referee, Mr. Kane as general manager, and Mr. Jakes as MC, along with a very special visit from Santa Claus himself. On November 25th and 26th, the West Milford District is holding its annual parent-teacher conferences, with the 25th for Macbin Middle School and the 26th for the high school. So, schedule your appointments and hop on to a Google meeting to discuss your kids' academic accomplishments. Seniors, this one is for you. The annual on-site decision day is on December 5th. This event features 28 different colleges from across the state of New Jersey, many of which are offering free applications to those who are participating. If you choose to sign up, you may receive acceptances the very same day. Lastly, in attempts to spread holiday cheer from December 5th to December 16th, the West Milford Women's Equality and Empowerment Club will hold a homeroom competition to raise toys for the Oasis Haven for Women and Children, which is a domestic abuse shelter. The homeroom that brings the most toys will be rewarded with a donut and hot chocolate breakfast. Snacks, yes. Thank you very much for your time. Please enjoy the rest of your evening. I look forward to updating you next month.
Thank you, Megan. I
have to say, I'm so impressed at how thorough you are with your report. You cover so many different things, very well spoken. What I would also say is, with all of the different information that you are covering, I think that your update could be so valuable to be shared out. So I'd love to chat with you at some point about possibly I'm sure you're putting a lot of time and effort into that report. I feel like we may have an opportunity to share that out even further than just at our board meetings, so that we can have a student voice helping to highlight some of all these great things going on. So thank you so much. And just as you're sitting there talking, I was thinking that we need to make sure your message gets out more than just in this session. So we'll touch base. Thank you. And that's all I have for my report.
Thank you, Dr. Kitchen. Director of Education's report, Mr. Novak.
So I'd like to echo, great job. It's hard to follow you each one. That was pretty thorough. So I enjoy my report tonight because I think this is the first time in probably since July that I'm not going to dominate 45 to 60 minutes of everyone's time. So I have a brief announcement tonight just to follow with Megan's comments about parent-teacher conferences. The middle school and the high school will be scheduling their conferences on the 25th and the 26th. I believe parents received communication from those schools this week to select their time slots and get their schedules set up for the day. One of the changes that we are in the process of doing for the first time was that our elementary schools are going to have their parent-teacher conferences on January 6th and January 7th. So this is a significant change from what we've done in the past. This is a long time coming in terms of discussions around report card cycle for our elementary schools. Back in, I believe it was 2018 or 2017, we switched to a trimester schedule for our elementary schools, while our middle school and high school remained on the classic four marking period schedule. Over time, there's been often discussion about how our parent-teacher conferences in November with our elementary staff have been held without that progress report, without that report card being present at those meetings. So there's always been discussion about what we can do to adjust. So we're trying it out this year, where our elementary teachers are going to be able, for the first time in many years, be able to sit with the report card in place and be able to speak to the end of that first marking cycle for elementary students and be able to have those discussions. So that's a process that we are implementing for this year. We're going to review it. We are going to take surveys not only from our staff but also from our community following this change in our schedule for this year to see if it's something that has value moving forward, and then to just build on and be better going forward for this process. So we met with the elementary principals, and I met today with our K through 5 grade levels to discuss the communication piece that we're going to be using for our elementary schools on November 25th and 26th. That we're aware that the report card process and discussion not happening until January 6th or 7th may be a long period of time for parents to receive that official communication, even though our staff are often having ongoing communications about progress. This is going to be a unified process across the district where every family receives a brief mid-marking period check-in from all of their teachers for student progress at this point in time in advance of the January 6th conferences. So we had great conversations today with our teachers. Our teachers were phenomenal in terms of providing us feedback and some humor. Dr. Schwartz is here. I know we participated in some lively, animated discussions today with our staff in terms of how we can accomplish this and meet all of our needs. So be prepared for a district level school messenger from me next week, explaining all of this to our families and letting everyone know exactly what is coming home next week and what to expect from our elementary teachers in advance of scheduling the conferences. So that's it. Any questions?
Review the dates. So you said January 6th. Is that for all elementary? Or that's just Apshua?
So no, January 6th and January 7th is for all elementaries. We typically have one of our 2 conference nights would be a late night. So on January 6th, the Monday, that's going to be the late night for our staff to conduct their conferences. They'll do a period of time from the early dismissal of students at 1:20 until probably around 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Then the schools will take a break, and then they'll come back for the evening session for working families who need an evening conference. And then they will follow that process on Tuesday, January 7th, with the conclusion of their day. So all that communication is going to be included in my messaging next week about the mid-marking period check-in that our families should expect, along with when to expect the scheduling process to take place for the elementary schools.
And Dan, in Megan's report, I heard Ackerman's the 25th of November and the high school is the 26th.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Novak. Special reports and correspondence, Mr. Schultz?
Sure, I have the minutes for the October 15th, 2024 workshop regular meeting and the minutes for the October 15th, 2024 executive session.
I make a motion to accept the minutes for those 2 meetings.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? President's report. Thanks to Megan, it's going to be very short because she touched on a lot of what I was going to say too. Beginning to think we might not need a president's report with Megan. Thank you, Megan. So I just wanted to touch on 2 things, the tattoo and the play, so I'll keep it brief. The tattoo was amazing. As always, it's such a great evening. It's a fundraiser, a veteran is honored, and the kids all come together, they play, the bagpipes, brings back some nostalgia for me. Being from England, I always love to hear the bagpipes, so it touches dear to my heart. So if you didn't get to come see the tattoo this year, I really suggest you get to come next year. It really is a great night, and next year will be the 25th tattoo. So the play, I had the privilege of going to see the play on Saturday. The high school put on a performance of Clue. Again, as always, I feel like we always say this, it just blows you away. The talent that you see, the acting, the performances, all the work that goes into everything, the set, everything. It's just an amazing, amazing night, and kudos to all the staff and the students. What a great performance. So those 2 things. And then I just wanted to briefly talk about workshop. A lot of the board members and the administration got to go to New Jersey School Board's workshop last month, I think, a few weeks ago. It seems like forever ago, but it really wasn't. It's a great way to just connect with other board members, districts, administrators. You get some really great PD, I think you just make a lot of connections and you get to learn a lot. Being a board member is a volunteer position. You're kind of thrown into it. It's not really something that you looked and went to school for. So I think having the ability to be able to go and sit in on all these workshops and presentations on things that, maybe you just need a little extra guidance on, or it's definitely a great time. And I just want to thank everyone that got to come, and the administrators too. And that concludes my president's report. So we'll move to public comments. And public comment, the first public comment is on agenda items only. So all speakers will have 5 minutes to speak until a period of 30 minutes transpires. Before speaking, please state your name, group affiliation, and address for the record. Members of the public who have requested to speak prior to the meeting will be recognized by the chair first. After speaking, all speakers are asked to sign the register provided and give their full name, group affiliation, and their address. All statements shall be directed to the presiding officer. No participant may address or question board members individually. All speakers are expected to have read the statement within the agenda regarding the regulations concerning public comments. Members of the public are reminded that they are legally responsible and liable for their comments. Mr. Schultz, has anyone signed up to speak?
No, there's not.
Would anyone like to speak?
Move to close public comment?
All those in favor? Any opposed? Any changes to the agenda, Dr. Kitchen?
Yes, we have 2. On page 9, item 23. The date there at the bottom, you see it says December 29th. It should say December 19th. That was just a typo. And on page 12, item 36 at the bottom of the page, you'll see that the club name for the first 2 is the Highlander Business Leaders. There was a request that the name of that club be approved slightly differently. They want to call themselves the Highlander Business Exploration Club. So they wanted the approval to reflect that. And then there are some hand carries which you have received. There is an additional hand carry that that may be presented following executive session. If it is, we'll share it out publicly.
Thank you, Dr. Kitchen. Could I get a motion to adopt the agenda as presented? All those in favor? Any opposed? Education, Mrs. Dwyer. Did we get a second? Okay. Any discussion?
Question. On number 3, on the 2 trips, I noticed the dates are in March, and those are very, I guess, precarious dates because we don't know if there's snow or not. Do we have insurance on these trips in case they have to be canceled? Not canceled.
So those have typically been things, I don't know for certain, but that has typically been the process since the pandemic, when we had so many of those trips that ended up in that situation.
Okay.
So I can confirm and have that for us at
Because I'd hate to see
the committee.
kids lose that money, you know? Okay, thank you.
I have a question.
Okay.
Number 2, the Play Unified grant. Where is that? Like, who's the grant from? Play Unified? What is that? And then, so that's my first question. And then the next is, what does the money go towards? Does this go towards busing, materials, salary? Like,
So to answer your first question, it is from Unified and Special Olympics that we apply for every year. We received a grant for Macapin that we approved earlier in the year, and this is for the high school. And so for the second question, what are the funds used for? I believe we spent time, Mr. Schultz this year, working on looking at things like transportation, other resources, the materials that the T-shirts, things like that, that are used for actual the competitions and things like that. But I think we've taken a look at that. I think this year.
It's mostly transportation and some supplies. In the past, we've used it on some of the salaries and stipends, but this year we've absorbed some of that into the actual budget, so we don't need to use the grant funds for that. So it's transportation costs are pretty high, so we're putting some of the money towards that and some of the supplies that the kids need. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Any other discussion?
one last question.
Okay.
Number 7, those are the tips that we discussed in our last executive session here.
Correct. So each month you'll get executive session discussion about new ones from that window of time. So you get the presentation the first month, and the following meeting is when you accept or reject findings. So yes, these are the ones that you've already received the report on from last month's executive session.
Anything else? Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Jorgensen?
Yes.
Mrs. Racano?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
No on number 7. Yes on everything else.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Yes.
Mr. Lippy?
Yes.
Mrs. Marquardt?
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes. Personnel Student Affairs, Mrs. Van Dyke.
I'd like to move items 1, I guess I can move the hand carry with it, right? 1 through 43, your hand carry is 40 through 43.
Could I get a second?
Second.
Thank you. So discussion, before I open it up for discussion, I just want to speak to item 1 and item 2. So both of these gentlemen have worked in this district for a very long time. Mr. Hummer has been in this district for 25 years, and Mr. Gillen has been in this district for 31. I think we're all going to probably have something to say, but on behalf of the Board of Education, we want to thank you for all these years of service. Enjoy your retirement, and good luck in your next adventures. Okay. Any other discussion? I saw. Okay, Mrs. Van Dyke.
I want to comment on Mr. Gillen, who I feel old to say, but I was here when Tommy first started, and he is a person who is always there to help, and he's always he can have an argument with you about something, but you can get together with him, and he truly has a passion for the district, and he is another person that we're losing that truly echoes West Milford, and I'm sad to see him go, but I hope that he has the best retirement ever. So, thank you.
I too would just like to say about Mr. Gillen that I was in school with him, and he's very close to my family, and I just want to wish him well in his retirement, and I'll miss seeing you occasionally in the buildings.
Okay, Mrs. Romeo?
Number 41, although I cannot vote, I think this is a position that Mr. Novak has been fulfilling for a very long time. And I just want to say congratulations. This is a title that you deserve, and I'm very happy and proud of you. And I know that when a position went out in this district as a posting for assistant superintendent, I got numerous text messages and phone calls that day. Oh my God, where is Dan going? What's going on? Because everyone thinks you already have that title. So, well deserved. Congratulations. I can't vote, so that's why I have to excuse myself. The next one, Brittany Rotunda, also super, there's so many people on here getting hired for positions that they so well deserve. She is incredible at her current position. I am so happy to have her in district for full time. We are hiring people that are good for our kids, and I'm really happy about that. And I will, there are 2 people on here that I'm sad to see go. I will echo every single thing that's been said about Tommy. He is a family friend, has always been, I think, to everyone, right? He is the neighborhood guy that everybody knows, who's always there to help. And I worked with him here for many, many years, and there's just not a nicer guy. So I wish him well. And Kelly Padavani was the bus driver in my neighborhood for a while, and she's just wonderful, was so good with the kids. So it's sad to see people go that are really good, you know, but it's also really great to see people come in that are great. My concern, and I didn't think of this until after committee, but it's a very real concern. In West Milford, we have a history of not hiring someone to shadow the current person leaving. So with Mr. Gillen's retirement, that is a position, the HVAC position, in any district, and with a district as large as ours, there are ins and outs that no one else in this district is going to know but him. And if it's possible to hire someone to shadow him before he leaves, it could only benefit us, you know, because I am sure that there are things that only he will know, that only he can show. And I'm also sure that knowing what kind of guy he is, yeah, he's probably a phone call away. But that's not fair to the new person. That's not fair to the old person. You know, and I really believe that sometimes we need to hire someone not just to cover then January 2nd, but hire them a week or two prior. And so that these people can train. You know, other districts do it all the time. Other companies do it all the time. You know, you can't run a company and just get a new guy in that knows HVAC but doesn't know our buildings, you know. So I really think that's something that needs to be discussed.
Just to speak to that, I think that's a really valid point, and whenever possible, that is something that we like to do. Obviously, timelines of when someone's leaving versus when we can get someone approved always impacts that, but there are definitely positions of which that would be one, where when you can have some level of training or sharing of expertise, it is valuable.
Awesome, really glad to hear, thank you. I think it's worth talking about, and we didn't get to talk about it in committee. It was a quick meeting, you know, so I thought about it later when I looked at this. I was like, that's going to be tough. And I think that's all my stuff. Thank you.
I just wanted to say one more thing, to speak to number 41 on the hand carry, that Dan, I started working for you and now I get to work with you, and I'm just really happy for you to finally get the title that you deserve. So that's it.
Yeah, I know. Anyone else wishing to speak? Discuss? Okay, Mrs. Marquardt.
So, everything that everybody said about Tommy, times 10, I definitely miss him very much. I miss our spirited discussions in the main office. He was a very worthy opponent when we had differing opinions. And there is no one that I know that has fought harder for their guys than, and girls, sorry, their people, than Tommy Gillen. So if you needed him as your rep, he was there for you. And I know that he will be greatly missed. I got to spend a lot of time working with John Hummer, who is kind of like one of those silent, amazing people in our district, because he's done a lot for us over the years, and I got to work with him, and I'm sure he will be greatly missed, even if people may not realize it just yet. And Dan, I can't vote for you either. I don't want to get all sappy. I just think you're amazing, you know, and clearly you deserve this. So congratulations to you once the vote is over, and well deserved.
Sure, Mr. Lippe. Yeah.
I have something. Yeah. Dan,
He's on. I can.
Here you go. Use mine.
It's a rare thing when people need to hear me. After the vote, obviously this may be your title, but we all know there are many, many other titles that are being bestowed upon you every single day of the week. And while you made the announcement that you were going to keep your little bit short, we still seem to be able to absorb 45 minutes maybe talking about you instead of you actually talking. So you're still there. So, but after the vote, I'll congratulate you. Right now, good luck.
Mrs. Dwyer.
Yes, I want to thank Tom Gillen for everything he's done. I remember when I was teaching the district, we were testing, it was HSPT, I'll never forget this. And the blower, there's these big things in the classrooms at the high school, bands, whatever, mine blew, and it flooded the classroom. Tommy Gillen was there within 5 minutes. He was just amazing. I mean, that's the kind of a guy he is. He's Johnny on the spot. He's a wonderful worker, and he will be sorely missed. As for Dan Novak, Dan, I don't know what to say. I can't get you away from your locker in the hall. When he was a student and I had first started teaching, Dan Novak was always at his locker between classes. And I used to chase him into his classroom because he was never wanting to go. But I love working with Dan. I'm so happy that he has this title, maybe. The vote's not in yet. But it's going to be great. Thank you, Dan.
Maybe it's I never had you as a teacher that I wasn't rushing into class. So that could have been it.
Schmoozer.
Good recovery. Mrs. Romeo.
Dr. Kitchen, I am very concerned also about number 40. We're in the middle of cheerleading comp season. Like, do we have? We didn't get to talk about that either. It's on the hand carry, so I didn't know. I'm sure it probably
Happened more recently than that. And there's more that I can share in discussion in the executive session, but I can't discuss it right now without.
Okay, thank you.
Having been
I'm worried about our team.
We have a plan.
Okay.
I was working on it today with our athletic director and our high school principal,
Wonderful,
and I can share more information, not publicly because it's.
No, that's great. That released my anxiety for our students
Yes.
because it's mid-season, and as a former varsity cheer coach, like that is not something that you want to be messing around with.
We're working on it, and we're working on it fast.
Cool, thank you.
If I can add
Okay,
one last
Mr.
thing.
Lippy.
Everyone was talking about employees that are leaving, and we're very happy to have had these great employees. I see on number 42, Nick Lagash. I knew him through Boy Scouts, and I think he is going to be a real asset. I worked with him closely in some scout camp stuff, so I'm very happy to see that.
Anyone else? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please. Mr. Schultz.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
I am on number 41, although I do love Dan, I just want to make that, I cannot vote on it, okay? Yes, to everything.
Mrs. Jorgensen?
Yes.
Mrs. Racano?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
I'm sorry, I should have come back. I don't know if I have to abstain. I
We
need
can
to
come back to you.
on 41 and 31. And yes to everything else. I don't even abstain on those, actually. I recuse both of those.
Mr. Lippy?
A resounding yes on 41 and yes on everything else.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Well,
Yes.
Mrs. Marquardt? Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes. Congratulations, Mr. Novak. Would you like to say a few words?
Sure. So, thank you. I can't thank you enough for all your kind words. I think your kind words and feedback are, probably more valuable than the just voted for me. So I do appreciate it. I feel like this year we've had a tremendous resurgence in district pride and working together and teamwork and shared values and all those types of things. So I couldn't be more proud than I am right now to be sitting in this position. And what do I do with that? So come on, I thought you'd have it ready, but so No, but in all seriousness, I just want to say thank you, especially to the board, to my administrative colleagues up here, especially I know Mr. Schultz has been going back and forth with the county for a very long time and trying to get an approval from the
All day today.
all day today. So I was relatively unaware that this was going to actually be on the agenda tonight, and I know Billy tried to talk to me numerous occasions when I was running from meeting to meeting. I didn't actually find out that it was on the agenda till I was on a call with the first grade today, and the first grade teachers saw the hand carry come out on their email before I saw it, and all of a sudden there was the looks and the texts and that kind of thing. So it was kind of funny that's how I found out that this was actually going to be on for tonight. So I promised I wouldn't talk a whole lot tonight. So again, I just appreciate it. I look forward to everything we're going to be doing together. Dr. Kitchen, I feel like I've known you for 20 years. I felt like that way after meeting you for a week. So we have a very similar approach to the things that we want and the things that we care about, and I think that shows in how we're being part of this district now, and the changes that everyone can feel. So I appreciate everything that we've done. I want to appreciate Dr. Schwartz, member of the administrative team, who's been with me for so long, however many years I've been in the district. So I just full of appreciation for everyone's support and looking forward to the good work that we're going to do. I'll stop now and keep going.
Okay, back onto the agenda, operations and finance, Mr. Lippy.
I'd like to move operations and finance number 1 through 4.
Any discussion? Being none, roll call, please, Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Lippy,
Yes.
Mrs. Rocano,
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen,
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo,
Yes.
Mrs. Marquardt,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke,
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood.
Yes.
Under operations and finance, I'd like to move number 5.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please, Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Lippy,
Yes.
Mrs. Rocano,
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen,
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo, Mrs. Marquardt,
Abstain.
Mrs. Van Dyke,
Abstain.
Mrs. Lockwood.
Yes.
Under operations and finance, I'd like to move 6 through 9, please.
Second.
Any discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please, Mr. Schultz.
Mr. Lippy,
Yes.
Mrs. Rocano,
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen,
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer,
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo,
Yes.
Mrs. Marquardt,
Yes.
Mrs. Van Dyke,
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Satovich isn't here today, so Mrs. Marquardt, do you want to
Sure.
do a motion for me?
Let's make a motion to move items 1 through 3 in policy. Second.
Any discussion? Yes, Mrs. Romeo.
Although I know it's a first reading for number 2, I am voting no. I don't know when we'll get to the second reading. And I'll be voting no because page 1 of 3 on the very first page of, it is on the first page, A, number 1C. It says a student who has been given a grade of incomplete in any subject will be ineligible for honor roll in that marking period. As an educator, I have seen students who have lost a parent tragically. I have seen students who have had to have a surgery. I have seen students who have had some of life's biggest crises that us as adults would take some time off for also. And students are entitled to that. just because they get their work done with an incomplete and they still get honor roll or high honor roll. If the incomplete is there, it means that their educator knows why their work's not handed in, right? And that there was a legit, reasonable, absolutely approved by the guidance director and now their teacher reason for it. That is an incredibly unfair thing to do to a child and not give them their honor that they deserved. Because then when it is complete, their work's handed in, and then they get the grade. If they're still on honor roll or high honor roll, how dare we take that from them? So I will be voting no on that one. I'm not in policy, so I gave my little spiel tonight. I feel very strongly about that. Students deserve what they earn, and students deserve the best that we can give them. And so an incomplete, please discuss it at your next policy meeting, but it's a very unfair thing to have in a policy.
So one thing I should just mention, adopting this regulation specifically, so one of the discussions that did take place during policy was that we didn't have a regulation in place. We had a policy that said we would honor student achievement. The regulation is where you define exactly what that honoring looks like. The regulation that is being proposed here for a first reading matches what our current practice is, and it was the belief of the committee that the proposal for this should not necessarily be us thoroughly reviewing what we think is most appropriate. It should be aligning our regulation with our current practice, and then a further discussion in the future about whether or not that is what we would like it to be can take place, and we can always amend. But the goal was not to establish a practice, it was to back the current practice with regulation, and then again continue the discussion.
Thank you. I want to tell you that that was properly written in the notes, and I knew exactly that, like in reading it, so thank you. The notes, by the way, I've been approved from committee meetings, so I knew that, but I really just feel firm on it enough that I wanted to still bring it up because I won't have another time to discuss it.
Okay.
So, but thank you for explaining that, also for the public and everything, but thank you.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Yes,
Yeah.
Mr. Lippert?
On number one, I'm wondering if maybe as these pieces of paper get thrown around, policies get thrown around, it would be good to explain to the general public exactly what we're doing. Number one, they don't get to hear your melodious voice before every public speaking point. Maybe go through it real quick.
Okay, so number one is just an amendment to our public participation, and while I don't have the specific language right on the page I'm on, basically when we have no public participation, be it because there's nobody in the room or because there is no one choosing to participate, it just makes it so that we can request, we can ask if there's any public participation or acknowledge that there is not public participation, and then if there isn't any, we don't need to read through all of the rules of public participation. So if there is public participation, we would then read the rules for public participation. But it just kind of streamlines the process a little. I think sometimes it feels silly as we're reading through the rules when it's an empty room. So it doesn't change anything about it. It just means the rules will only be read if there is public participation to remind the individuals participating what those rules are.
Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mrs. Jorgensen?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Rocano?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
No, I'm two. Yes, I'm
Mrs. Van Dyke? Mrs. Marquardt?
Yes.
Mr. Lippy?
Yes.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes.
Negotiations, Mrs. Rocano.
I would like to move items 1 through 3 under negotiation.
Second.
Any discussion? So I just wanted to just speak to the negotiation committee and thank them for all the time, hours, nights that has been put in this year. It's been a tough year for negotiations. There's been a lot of negotiating. There's 3 different items here, but there's actually 5 contracts in these 3, because item number 1 has 3 contracts attached to that. We hired a superintendent this year. That was a lot of meetings for negotiations. We did the CAF aides earlier. So I just want to thank the committee for all the time that you've put in thus far. It really has been a tough year. So that's really all my discussion that I wanted to do. Any other discussion? Seeing none, roll call please, Mr. Schultz.
Mrs. Rocano?
Yes.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Yes.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
Yes.
Mr. Lippy?
Yes.
Mrs. Romeo?
Recuse on all.
Mrs. Marquardt?
Abstain on all.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
I abstain on 1 and 2, and yes on number 3.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Yes. Okay, committee reports. Parks and Rec, Mrs. Dwyer.
Okay, well, there was a mention of a discussion of the feasibility study for Hillcrest, and I guess that's going to be in concert with the Board of Education. The library is having a regular babysitting class on December 17th. The Emerald Lake Park has been cleaned up and fixed up with the help of the Board of Education, and we thank the board for that. The Christmas lighting ceremony is December 2nd. There's a food pantry in the foyer of the rec building for Township distribution. There's a fishing event to be held in conjunction with the Greenwood Lake Fishing Group, and they're looking at starting a fishing camp for next summer. There's going to be some kind of digger machines at Bubbling Springs for the kids to experience, but they didn't give us a date for that. There will be a tri-paddle board tournament, which is pickleball, in April. Okay? There's lights at Bubbling Springs that have been fixed, and there's brand new grass. There's discussion of turf for Digos for next year, and military banner applications are still available. And there's a discussion about a multi-purpose plan for a playground, I think, near Digos Field around, they're hoping by June of 2026. That's my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Dwyer. Safety, Mrs. Rocano and Mrs. Dwyer.
We have not had a meeting yet this year.
Superintendent's Roundtable, Mrs. Rocano and Mrs. Van Dyke.
We had a meeting, our second meeting of the year, last week. Some topics that came up, wonders, like with any new program that we implement, there might be a little growing pains. And some of the parents mentioned that some of the words might not be matching up with the grade level, or they might have a double meaning. One of the examples was the word independent. So the child thought that meaning would be doing it by themselves. And, last week we were in the middle of an election, and the actual definition they were looking for was an independent as far as a candidate might go. So so it was like a little bit of a,
Well, the topic was voted.
Yeah.
On the paper.
Yes. So there was some discussion back and forth, and it turned out that maybe the definition had two definitions, but we were only studying one. But growing pains and learning opportunities. They brought up the paving that happened on Maple Road, and just asked the district to work with the county on scheduling that to make it easier for parents and pick up and drop off and things. And the district did work with the county, and they were well aware of our schedule and the fact that we had that Thursday and Friday off. But I guess nothing could be done to schedule around it. They brought up the away bleachers on the turf, mentioning that maybe we can think about welcoming our visitors a little bit more warmly. The bleachers are a little bit rough to climb on and perhaps a little, I don't want to say unsafe because they are like inspected and approved, but you know, they could be better. So it is an active discussion going on, replacing those bleachers. Still an issue happening is the main lunch selection runs out as the day goes on. Principals are aware, and there was going to be some follow-up with Pontonian Elementary specifically. Well, there is food available. It's just not like the main option of that day.
We're not running out of food. We're running out of the hot lunch, and I think part of it seems to be a bigger issue with one-off items. So, for example, mummy dogs on Halloween seem to be something that we ran out of. But it's a conversation. Principals are involved in the conversation and working on it.
And finally, there is a discussion about Chromebooks. They were waiting for feedback from principals if K-2 students will be taking home Chromebooks as a practice after Thanksgiving. They were wondering if there was an equitable balance of using Chromebooks and pencil and paper. And as a district, we feel like there is. But it was just a topic of discussion. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Rocano. Passaic County School Boards Association, that's me. The next meeting is December 9th. It happens to be a night that I believe we have committees, a Monday night. So if anyone who isn't on education, if we do have the meeting that night, would like to go, it's at Lakeland High School, 6 o'clock, and it's harnessing the power of public relations, social media, and technology is the topic. And that's December 9th at 6. It is hybrid, yes, yeah. It's at Lakeland, yeah, Lakeland High School, yeah. New Jersey School Boards Association, Mr. Satovich, he didn't send anything. So we can skip over that one. Legislative, Mr. Satovich and Mr. Lippin. Nothing there either. I do want to just say that there is a delegate assembly. I know Mr. Satovich has announced it several times, but 12/7, December 7th, 9 a.m. at Mercer County College. It's a bit of a ride. I took the ride last year. It's a bit of a ride. Technology oversight, Mr. Lippe and Mrs. Marquardt. Township Board of Education Joint Committee, we haven't had a meeting either, and no update, right, Mr. Schultz? So, West Milford Municipal Alliance, Mrs. Van Dyke and Mrs. Jurgensen.
Mrs. Jurgensen had a meeting, and it was my anniversary, so I chose not to go to it. Sorry to say.
Okay, that's good. So on to the next. Special Education Parent Advisory Committee, Mrs. Marquardt.
Okay. So on October 16th, we had a star-studded event up at UGL that was attended by Dr. Swartz, Mr. Novak, Ms. Blades, Dr. Reza, and Dr. Kitchen. It was all that it was worked up to be. Dr. Swartz and Mr. Novak gave a really in-depth presentation for WonderWorks. There were a lot of questions. There were a lot of really good answers. I felt like it was extremely thorough for the parents who attended. We talked about a lot of things. I'll just highlight a couple of them. One thing that I thought was really neat was the buckle and bus safety. Our kids were able to practice buckling and unbuckling the seatbelts at all of our schools, which was amazing because it was a concern of some parents that their kids are unable to do it. Who does it for them? One thing that was brought up that I know is still kind of an issue is when we receive text messages from School Messenger, it doesn't say what school it's coming from or even the principal's name, and there are multiple families where they have kids in different schools, and sometimes it is confusing. So I don't know, we've talked, if there's a way if the principal can just put the initials of the school, and this will probably be resolved, when we switch in the future. But just between now and then, there's a lot that's going to go on over the next 2 months. And if they could just put which school, like if they could just abbreviate the school or just put like their name at the end of it so the parents know who it's coming from, it would probably clear up a lot of confusion. We talked about foreign language options in the middle school. We had a conversation about different options for our different special education students, and Dr. Reza was going to look into some of that. Having consistent inclusion opportunities between all of our elementary schools, and did talk about how the district follows up with our out-of-district placements. Dr. Kitchen did talk a lot about how important it is, and that it is something that we regularly do. The next meeting is January 15th at 7 p.m. at Highlander Academy/Prep.
Thank you, Mrs. McCord. Old business.
Move to close old business.
All those in favor? Any opposed? New business. Mrs. Ricano.
Megan, like she very astutely announced everything happening in our whole town tonight. I just wanted to touch on one thing that she said, and I would be remiss if I didn't, as a soccer mom and a coach in town, that our boys varsity soccer team this year, not only did they have a good season, they were the best in West Milford history. They went 17-3-3 and only lost one regular season game. And Big North Conference championships, made it to the county semis and the state group semis. And they're just a really awesome group of kids who have been playing together in West Milford Soccer Club forever. And I just really wanted to highlight that accomplishment because it's huge to be the best ever. So,
Mrs. Romeo?
It's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Two things I wanted to say. The West Milford Marching Band is doing their tag day in December, where they stand outside all the businesses in town and play music. It's one of my favorite days in town to drive through, and you could hear them. But the other thing is that I know I'm going to say this wrong. I call it Teeny Bob. It's not that. I think it's called M-Bob, Claire.
I think so, yeah.
Thank God marching band is over, the kids call it, and they do a scavenger hunt. So when Terry was saying her report, I remembered one of the hints to their scavenger hunt last year. They had to look for, in West Milford, the carbonated mattress, which is Lake Springs. And so they have this scavenger hunt all over. And so if you see a group of kids, they're not, I just want to mention, they're not being, crazy this weekend. It's their scavenger hunt. So I think that's really fun. When the kids said to me, carbonated mattress, they're like, you lived here your whole life. You're going to know this. Carbonated mattress. I'm like, I don't know that, but it's Bubbling Springs. Anyway, things like that. It's really, really fun. So I love that. Just there's so much going on and there's so many great things. So thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Romeo. Mrs. McCord?
So I have something that's a little different. I really want to thank our firefighters in town. We have a lot. First of all of our firefighters are volunteers. And I think as we've seen over the past week, they save lives. They do not get paid for it. And they don't like recognition for it. When we were at the tattoo, my son and my husband were in the bathroom and they ran into some firefighters who had taken a break. They were at the tattoo and then they were going back for their night shift. And it brought up a really good opportunity for my youngest son to really appreciate what they do. And we have a lot of high school students and graduates who go in as volunteer firefighters in our town and EMS. I just think it's important for us as a community when we see them to thank them and for us to really reiterate to our children how important they are to our community and the lives that they save. Because as we can see, and we know by a young man losing his life in New York, it's dangerous, and they really deserve our support and our appreciation.
Yeah.
Thank you, Stephanie. And I should say that both fire and police have been so great in communicating with us just on all of the different things going on and helping support us keeping schools open, helping support our transportation, understanding of what to expect in terms of smoke and impact around the community. So they've been really, really great. Even beyond all of the efforts they're putting in there, they've found the time to help make sure that we get to do our job. So that's been really helpful.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
I just want to piggyback on something you said. I want to thank you, Dr. Kitchen, because you kept the schools open, and it was really important that the kids come in, because as we know that we were a little better equipped to control the environment in the building, where some of our children were going to be home, where even though you don't see the smoke, you're breathing it. And I want to thank you for staying on top of that, because every day your message is out to them. I think the parents felt great that they knew that their superintendent was there for them. So I want to thank you a lot, because this is a scary time for everyone. You know, we live in the middle of the woods, and you know, we're experiencing something for really the second time, and this is scary. And as a community and as a board, we need to be very supportive of everyone and hope they know that our doors are open for our kids. So thank you. I really appreciate your concern and how you handle the situation.
You know, people told me bigger district, bigger fires. I didn't know they meant real fires, but thank you.
And also the staff members that also volunteer on the fire department are,
Yes.
and they wear dual hats, and they're doing their jobs at school and also going out to save lives. So it's really amazing to have staff members, you know, that are also volunteers in our community.
Agreed. Thank you, Mrs. Jurgensen. Anyone else? Okay, can I get a motion to close old business? New business, sorry. Okay. Oh, did you want some? Okay. Okay, public comments. Shall we? Oh, all those in favor? Any opposed? Public comment. Shall we start our new? All right. So, is there public comment? Yeah. Is there anyone in the audience wishing to speak in public comments? Okay. Okay. Yeah, I love it. All those in favor? Any opposed? Good, Andy, I got it. All right, executive session, Mrs. Ricano.
At 8:13, it's the earliest we've done in a long time, I move to go into executive session for the purpose of discussing personnel appointments, resignations, current litigation matters, special education appointments, special education matters, negotiations, HIBs, and matters of attorney-client privilege.
Wait.
The executive session minutes will not be released until such time as the privilege or confidentiality is no longer applicable. The board will be in executive session for approximately 30 minutes. Action may be taken when we return.
Is that going to be long enough, 30 minutes? I don't think 30.
What do you want to do? Okay, we will be in executive session for 45 minutes.
All those in favor? Any opposed? Okay, we'll be returning after executive session.
meeting back to order. Roll call, please, Mr. Schultz.
Mrs. Van Dyke?
Here.
Mrs. Romeo?
Here.
Mrs. Jurgensen?
Here.
Mrs. Dwyer?
Here.
Mr. Lippy?
Here.
Mrs. Rafano?
Here.
Mrs. Markwar?
Here.
Mrs. Lockwood?
Here. So thank you. After returning from executive session, we are not going to take any action. So I just need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second. Wow. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay, we close the meeting at 9:13.